They did an investigation of this, and they wound up clearing the officer. So it's not a lingering question in terms of the police are concerned, but should it be?
It is a lingering question.
Well, Jason, I get that it's a lingering question for you. I'm not saying it's not a question. I'm saying it's has
not just a lingering question for me, Chris. It's a lingering question for a lot of people.
Understood.
Hey, Jason,
I'm just talking about
somebody else get in and talk about it.
Hold on a second. I take your point, Jason. I'm just saying investigatively. I'm just trying to keep us straight on what the fact pattern is here. It's been looked at. He was cleared. But what do you make of the suggestion that there's more there than the reckoning of how Mike Brown was painted and what led up to the altercation?
It still shows him as a drug dealer anyway, if this is true. You know, if they're... Well, Mr. Pollack basically said that he was giving marijuana, right, to the... for cigarillos, right?
That doesn't mean
that's what he said.
No, I'm not a drug dealer. Even if that's
all true. It's a drug
deal,
Chris. It's a drug deal. Doesn't matter how it's done. If I give you drugs for something, that's a drug deal.
Right.
You go to jail.
Right, but it doesn't make him a drug dealer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that basically it is. And you're going to be arrested. Also, Mr. Pollack, I got two questions for you. All right. How do you know in the first place, all right, that there was any drugs in that little yellow envelope? All right, did you interview anybody?
You can see them.
Well, you want to answer my question? All right, because right now I think this is not. Hold on, Chris.
I'm not going to interrupt you.
This is all assumptions on this guy's part.
All right, but calm down for a second. He says they smell the bag.
Assumptions. Look at the video, sir.
Right.
They're smelling the bag.
That's
right. Wow. So what does that mean? All right, because as far as I know, somebody's smelling the bag. I can't lock somebody up for smelling a bag. That's an assumption on your part. Second of all, how do you know the second video is involved in the robbery? All right, the second video is part of that drug deal from the first place. Did you have somebody in the store both times that you spoke to regarding what happened? Or is this just an assumption in your head?
All right, go ahead, answer, Jason.
Michael was in the store 10 hours before. He was handed 2 boxes of cigarillos in the store. You think it's a coincidence that 10 hours later he went in the store and asked for the boxes of cigarillos that he was handed? Come on.
Oh, come on. You know anything about evidence? If you're going to... Listen, if you're going to be the man who's going to do a film on something like this, you better know exactly what the evidence is that you're talking about, not assumptions.
Look at the
microphones work, y'all. We can talk a little lower.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the inauguration, when people looked at an empty field and Donald Trump said, oh, it's the biggest field in the world.
I went on your Twitter site. You're nothing but anti-cops there. All you talk about on your Twitter site is how Michael Brown is innocent and the police officer who killed Tamir Rice is a murderer. That's all. You're anti-cop, and that's what you're all about.
All right,
you have no evidence of anything, and that robbery still occurs.
All right, Harry.
Continue your white supremacy.
We have your
on this
take.
air.
Jason.
Continue your white supremacy.
Oh, I'm a white supremacist.
Jason. It looks ridiculous.
Thank you.
Harry, hold on a second. And Jason, you don't have to be a white supremacist to question facts. You know that. Let's keep it in check. Last word from you.
Oh, wow. This is... So a couple things real fast. One, to Harry's point, I think you're right. We can't prove what's in the bag any more than we could prove he's a drug dealer. But we do look at circumstantial evidence. And if someone is sniffing a bag, testing it, it's probably not baby powder. It's probably not cologne. We could probably make the argument, particularly if somebody's buying blunts. Let me finish. I get the last word.
You don't get a nickel bag for $200 worth of cigarillos. Come on.
I'm not saying you do.
It's $20 a cigarillo.
Yeah, why do you say
$2 boxes?
It's $20.
Those are 2 giant boxes, and they have several packs in those boxes.
It was about
$20.
It was about $20 worth, based on what I've heard. But again, that's just based on the evidence. Again, ultimately, this doesn't necessarily change what happened on Canfield, but it does raise questions. It does change the conversation. I agree with you, Chris. We don't know all the information.
It doesn't raise anything.
Well, maybe not for you, but again, but I've been dealing with you since the beginning of this case, and nothing raised questions for you about this. So, but for some of us,
and I've been proven right because the officer walked.
Well, every officer.
Oh, you've been proven right. Please,
just because an officer walks doesn't mean that you're right, unless you're.
Because you just make up evidence here. I mean, all the evidence proves that Michael Brown.
There's a bullet in the top of Michael Brown's head, sir.
Hands up,
there's a bullet in the top of Michael Brown's head. What about that?
This last word has been awesome.
Well, you know what? I'm interested in the conversation as long, you know, the tone came back down, so I'm more interested in the conversation. So, to Harry's point, just pick it up on that, because this is a big point for people, where they'll say, hands up, don't shoot.
Harry is lying, and everything he's saying is a lie right now.
Jason, relax.
Jason, you're a liar and a fraud.
All right, that's not helpful.
This doesn't help us.
Look, let's have the conversation the way you guys are having it some of the time, which is you make a point, you get a counterpoint. We don't need any insults on this show. There's plenty of it going around already. So the hands up, don't shoot thing.
I'm just telling the truth. Chris, your viewers know that he's lying.
Jason,
I'm just telling the truth.
Our viewers are smart. They make their own judgments. You don't have to presume it for them.
Let's
keep the conversation going.
That's right.
The hands up, don't shoot. I know that it was extended as metaphor to things that happen in policing around the country, but specific to this case, it did wind up being factually not a factor in the investigation.
Correct.
How do you deal with that?
Based on the DOJ report, I mean, if you read my book, I concede that point. I never make the argument that the hands up, don't shoot has been proven by the investigators. I never make that point. What I do make the point is that what happens in the store is more complicated, and as Jason is talking about, there's always been considerable evidence that perhaps it wasn't a robbery. This video simply supports that claim that's already been made.
It was a robbery, though. It was still a robbery.
Why?
A forcible taking of anything is a robbery.
Harry, hold on. Let me finish.
Why? Because it was a drug dealer who's tried to get his cigarillos.
No, I'm saying
so
do you have
therefore
facts
it's not a robbery. Of course it's a robbery.
How do you sleep at night debating a child?
I sleep at night fighting guys like you. That's what I do.
On national television.
Jason, let's stick to the facts. Stick at the facts. You don't have to make character assassinations.
The argument is that if he made an exchange, and then he came back later to pick,
making the character
and then he makes then he comes back later to pick up the things that he's already paid for, even if it's through weed. The argument is that it wasn't a strong-arm robbery.
Of course it's a robbery.
Let's take for a minute the legal technicality you're making. What I'm saying, Harry, is if you and I make a deal, right? I give you drugs, you give me a stack of magazines, right?
O.J. went to jail for 10 years trying to get stuff back that belonged to him.
Let's not chase the red herring real quick. Just stay with me for 1 second.
Okay, I'm with you.
What I'm saying is that if deal, even if the thing I'm dealing with is an illegal substance, i.e. weed, right? If I come back later to pick up the stuff that I paid for through the weed, I am not robbing you. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, you are, if you're forcibly taking it from me.
The claim...
Because the law does not give you any allowance to be able to do that.
Right, but we don't...
You're missing my point. My point is...
The video is, does it show that it was a forcible taking
the point.
or not?
What we're rejecting is the claim that he was
All right, let's leave it there. And Jason...
The second video shows that.
All right, Jason, just to be clear, I know it's tough because you're on remote, but... we don't need to do it in terms of insulting who's making what argument and not argument.
You know what's tough, Chris?
You got your video out there.
What's tough, Chris, is that I've been living with the Brown family for 2 years.
I know you have.
What's tough is I see the world through their eyes. And you know what's tough? What's tough is that they are hurt by what people like Harry are saying right now. They are crying at their houses by people like Harry and what they are saying right now. So I am personally hurt by the offensive comments from the radical right to destroy this young man's character. That's what's the problem.
All right, now where you're coming from.
All right, but
we
Jason,
know where you're coming from.
All right, but Jason, look, there's a lot of pain to go around. I'm not questioning the source of your pain and what you've been exposed to. I'm just saying the most helpful thing is you put the facts out there, you make the arguments on the basis of what you think you know, and we go from there. There's no reason to attack each other. There's been plenty of that already, and it hasn't gotten us anywhere. But thank you for coming on the show. We'll see what happens when your video comes out and what this lawyer in the store can put out. We'll have you back on if there's a material discrepancy.
Great.
Gentlemen, thank you as always.